Michelle, how has
Yes,
your day-to-day life changed now that you are cancer free?
it has changed because now the fear, I have less fear. The fear of dying, the fear of getting it again is less and less. Every PET scan, every blood draw, I just have tried my best to push fear away. During treatment, I had a lot of fear, but
Meet Michelle, a cancer survivor who's here to share her post cancer journey. From surviving to truly living, advocating, travelling, staying close to those who matter, and protecting her health every step of the way.
I cut down my red meat intake. So I rarely eat red meat, maybe once a week. I replace red meat with,
Michelle, what
yeah,
message would you like to give someone who is just beginning their cancer treatment?
it's like a hormonal balance
Right.
for females, and it really works wonders. It takes away the pain
Yeah.
and it reduces inflammation in the body. Freedom feels like unlimited happiness.
Righteous and eternal Father, we just want to give you thanks for this gathering as we come before your presence. We just ask that whatever information is put out there, we may learn from it, adapt to it, and help our listener to be blessed. Bless our guests that she may continue to spread the positive words of encouragement in Jesus' name.
Michelle, how has
Yes.
your day-to-day life changed now that you are cancer free?
It has changed because now the fear, I have less fear. The fear of dying, the fear of getting it again is less and less. Every PET scan, every blood draw, I just have tried my best to push fear away. During treatment, I had a lot of fear, but now I have less.
It's funny you say that because it's not the same for many females because I've watched so much people share their journey, and one of their fear is that it might come back. But with you don't have any fear. Why is that?
Because I really strongly believe in positivity and I try to push that away. So every time I have a PET scan, I know most women are on pins and needles for 3 days until they get their results to see if they're cancer free. I am trying my best to do the things that I should be doing to keep it away. So during those 3 days, in my mind, I say it's negative and I'm going to move on because I'm not claiming it because I try to stay positive.
And that is a wonderful way of looking at it because they say you are what you think. So it's best to think positive because you don't want to overwhelm your mind and your brain with certain things, especially when it's negativity. So I think that is one of
Mhm.
the best way to approach it. And based on what my research are as well, stress play an important part in your
Yeah,
cancer journey. So it's
yes,
best to not
yes.
stress on these things. So I am happy that you are taking that approach. Were there any unexpected or difficult moments in your life, in your recovery, that still surprise you?
Yes, towards the end of my chemotherapy, I was hospitalized because I did immunotherapy and it started to attack my body. So the recovery part was especially hard for me because I had to see a specialist, an endocrinologist, and they diagnosed me with adrenal insufficiency, which it looks like I might have that for the rest of my life. So I take steroids every day, and that did kind of slow down my recovery because my body had to get used to being on steroids, and it took a longer time.
I- I've some idea about steroids, but I'm not 100% sure, so I won't dig deep into it. But based on your
Mhm.
knowledge in steroids, do you think it's a benefit for you?
Well, the steroids that I'm taking are a very low dose. These steroids are in place of my body not producing cortisol the way it should automatically. So the steroids just help me with my day-to-day activities. If I were to go like hiking or dancing or any activity that was going to cause me a lot of energy, then I would double up my steroids. So, or if I were to have surgery, I would triple my steroids. These are a very low dose, so it's not going to affect me like someone else who was doing steroids to like gain muscle mass or something like that.
What are the main habits or practice you have adopted to support your health?
So I cut down my red meat intake. So I rarely eat red meat, maybe once a week. I
Mhm.
replace red meat with any type of bean, with nuts, with what else do I eat? I eat a lot of fruit. I just try to stay away from, and then tofu. I replaced red meat with tofu also
So,
because red meat is hard for me on my body because I have endometriosis also. So it has estrogen in it. And I feel like they put so many chemicals in the meat now.
mhm.
And I just don't want to take that chance with my body. I also continue with soursop tea. I do apricot seeds. I take Celtic salt. And I do have a drink that I drink for a liver detox that I do for a couple of months, stop, and then do it again.
Right. You mentioned endometriosis. How long do you have that?
I've had it since 2006. I was misdiagnosed in 2004 with cervical cancer. Then I went for a second and then a third opinion. And the third opinion, she actually scheduled surgery in 2006. And that's where she found cysts, fibroids, and endometriosis. And I've had it since then, and I've had 5 surgeries for that.
Does it affect your daily life?
Not anymore. I use a wild yam cream, and that's very helpful with the
Heard
pain.
about that one.
And wild yam cream has it's like a hormonal balance
Right.
for females, and it really works wonders. It takes away the pain,
Yeah.
and it reduces inflammation in the body. And I also drink dandelion tea. That's good for that, and it also has benefits when it comes to cancer.
Yeah. The yam cream, I heard that is also help with what you call it, menopause as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. Looking back on your cancer journey, if you could give your past self one piece of advice or change one thing, what would it be?
I did share some of my days or when I wasn't feeling too well on Snapchat with my family. Looking back at my journey, I would have shared more of my bad days because I think because I didn't share those days, it looked like it was easy for me to do. It looked like it was easy for me to go through the cancer. And I was hospitalized 2 times. But I also would want it for myself to be a reminder when it would come up on my reminder story that I went through this and I beat it and I'm okay. So I think it would be sharing more of the bad days because my mother even said that I didn't really share those with her. I kept to myself a lot.
And that's one of the things a lot of cancer patients can relate to. Most people I've heard about, they just want to be by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody right now, like she literally push away her partner because she don't want to be with him. She don't want to be around anyone. But
Mm-hmm.
you're saying that you would wish, that's one thing you would have changed to speak to people more in those times.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what would you say to the person that's want to be by themselves in times like that?
I would say to call their best friend, to call their parent, to call their child, and have them come be with them. Because I know one time I was having a horrible day, and my son, he was 21 at the time, he just showed up at my apartment and he just spent time with me and we watched television and he could tell I felt sick. I laid down and he just talked to me and stayed with me for hours. And after he left, my energy was up. I felt happy and I wasn't depressed. And if I would have called people to be with me, I would have had less days like that by myself.
Uh,
I
uh,
just got lucky that day that he came over.
I'm going to share two short story. Um, and one of my mom desire when she was in the hospital was to see more people because she said it lift her up.
Mm-hmm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
was sad for me because growing up, my mom was always helping and supporting people. And to know that she needed the support at that time and not even her church family members visit her in the hospital, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So and that was very sad, you know. Um,
Yeah.
and just after that, I've realized I've watched the video. You're looking a bit teary.
Yeah.
You okay?
Because it's emotional. What you're saying is 100% true. I'm a social butterfly. I have a lot of friends. I know a lot of people, and there's a huge piece or a group of people that never even sent a text message.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the sad moments for me when I heard my mom said that. And just after she passed, I was watching a TikTok video where this man had stage 4, I think it was prostate, and they put him
Mm-hmm.
over to hospice. And
Oh,
his son called over family members and they prayed and they sing and they gather at his bedside day by day. And Michelle, he beat the cancer.
oh my gosh.
When I saw that video and I remember when my mom said that, I said, if only people would just, you know what I mean? Because you need the support, you need the positivity. Because when you're alone in that moment, you just keep stressing, am I going to die? Am I going to die? But when you have family members rally around you, you get that peace, you get that comfort, you know what I mean? You get that
Mm-hmm.
strength and it
Mm-hmm.
uplifts you. You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying, you know, so people should really, not push away people in this time, and people should always, support their friends and family member in this time. Michelle, what
Yeah.
message would you like to give someone who is just beginning their cancer treatment?
I actually have a friend who just got diagnosed with cancer and she started chemo once a month. And I sent her a text message and she responded. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to call her. And I called her and I talked to her. And I said, I have a YouTube channel where I show all my remedies, all the times that I had my journey, but I'm telling you as a friend, call me.
Hmm.
If you can't taste something, call me. If you have sores in your mouth, call me. I have remedies. I can tell you what I did. Drink this, do that. I asked her, I told her I'm going to text you everything I'm about to tell you, but I went through the whole thing. This is what you should do because this is what I did, and I didn't feel pain, and I wasn't that tired. And I would just call them and reach out to them and do a step by step and then reiterate at the end, I'm here. Text me or call me. I've been through it. I don't care what time it is. Call me. And she has responded to some of my messages. She hasn't reached out, but she posts videos herself, and I will tell her, well, you should just do this. And then she's like, oh, I forgot you said that. I'm going to do it. And I think just staying behind someone who you know who just started their journey because you already went through it,
Mhm.
and just touching base with them all the time so they know they still have you as that resource.
That is good.
Because I had a resource, my cousin's wife, and I turned to her, but she didn't have all the answers because she didn't have stage 3.
Right, right. Definitely help support. And one of the things that I've encouraged people to do as well, and
Mm-hmm.
I created this WhatsApp support cancer support group. It's
Mm.
not very much people in it, but it's a start, and you have real survivors in it. We have herbalists in it, we have a doctor in it, and we have a nutrition in it.
Mm-hmm.
We share posters sometimes, not on a regular basis, but we touch base because that communication is really, really important. Not
Mm-hmm.
because you may pass through the cancer, you still need that assurance, you still need that encouragement. You know what I mean? We share
Yes.
Bible verse, we share script, we share prayers, so it's like it's an uplifting community. And I would advise people who have been through cancer, it's even to group some people that that's going through the struggles, so that
Yes.
you can be a mentor to them, guide them on
Yes.
their journey
Yes.
because they need it. You know what I mean? Not because you may never had it when you were going through yours, but be an example. Make a
Yes.
difference.
Yes.
Because some people, and this is one of the things that I really applaud because we don't know each other, Michelle. I met you on TikTok
Yeah.
and you were willing to share your story with my platform, and I was grateful for that and still grateful today. But it's not many people like to share their journey.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's true.
to each his own. But when you share your journey, I can't tell you how you may feel because it probably, as you said, it's emotional. I can't
Mm-hmm.
take that away from them, you know what I mean? But I think sharing your journey, and this is my opinion, I think sharing your journey not only help others, but it also help you.
Yes.
Does help you because I've heard women say the same thing. Sharing help them. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
It helps
So I
you get
think
it out. Yeah.
definitely, and that's one of the things that helps me as well with my grieving process. I let it out through my podcast, speaking to people. You know what I mean, and it helps. So
Yeah.
communication is very very important when you're going through certain stuff. Honestly. So Michelle, are you currently taking any vitamin or supplement, engaging in a specific wellness practice, and how do you decide what's right for you now?
Yes. I still take soursop tea
Mhm.
because the antioxidants are high in that tea. Because of what it did for me, it gave me energy when I know other people who had my same diagnosis did not have the energy that I had during the chemo treatments. I also drink dandelion tea because it has high antioxidants and it helps with inflammation. And then I do apricot seeds. Apricot seeds, I'm very new to it. I've researched it a little bit. I don't consume a lot of them. I'll do 2 a day for 2 or 3 weeks and then stop, and then drink my tea, my soursop tea. So I alternate between different things so that my body doesn't grow like an immunity to it. And then Celtic salt for magnesium. I do a drink I used to do with my coworkers in the morning, and it's a liver detox. And that is because I have a fatty liver.
Mhm.
And then I try to stay away from red meat. I try to stay away from chicken. I try to stay away from fast foods. If I go to a fast food restaurant, I'm very picky on what I'll eat.
Right.
Uh, any food that's hard to digest, I kind of stay away from it, like just processed anything, like any deli meats or anything, or I rarely eat bread unless I go to a restaurant and it's on the table. I'll indulge, but that's it.
Mhm.
I've changed my diet a lot.
And that's great. Myself, I've never been through a cancer journey, obviously, but I have a mom that passed from it, and that opened my eyes. I keep sharing
Yeah.
my story how I found out that I was in pre-diabetic state. That was because I changed my diet since my mom. And I phoned the doctor and I was like, can I have a blood test? Because I wanted to know what my inside was like, And at that time, the doctor said to me, I've noticed that your sugar level has dropped. What are you doing? You were in pre-diabetic. And I'm like, pre-diabetic? Why they didn't call me and say anything to me and I done my test like every 6 months? How is that,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
man, that was crazy. But my mom's journey helped me to help shape my
Yes.
health in so much ways, you know what I mean? And I'm glad the approach that I am taking where my health is concerned. I've stopped eating meat on a regular basis. My diet is predominantly um plant-based. Sometimes my daughters call me vegan and children, but I'm not a vegan. I would not label myself as a vegan, honestly,
Yeah.
because I believe that and vegans, please do not come for me, but I think that the vegan diet is no much different from eating the processed food because the stuff that is in the vegan packaging, it's really, really not much different. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, but I
Yeah.
don't label myself as a vegan because I still do eat meat, but
Yeah.
I only eat meat on occasions. Like if I go,
Yes.
like you, I stop eating bread. I only eat bread on
Hmm.
occasions. So
Yes.
my diet has changed dramatically since my mom passed. Yeah. But Michelle, your social life. And so how's your social life, your friendship and your community changed since your cancer journey? What has been happening since then?
So I have gotten a lot closer to my daughter that lived with me at the time and my children. We
Yeah.
just became closer. I know it was probably because of the scare that I might die. And
Mhm,
my mother and our relationship has just bloomed.
mhm,
Now I call my mother like every week, like at least 4 or 5 times a week on
yes.
my way home from work, just to chat.
Mhm,
And I take her out to lunch. I see my parents a lot more. I put days aside on a Saturday. So I become closer to my immediate family. And
mhm.
I've come to the point where I understand that our most valuable gift thing that we possess is time.
Amen.
So
I
I
agree.
just give my time to my children, to my parents, and I have learned that I need to save money and go on vacation
Of
because
course.
who knows what's going to happen. So I did go on vacation in 23 and I went on vacation in September. So I know it was like 2 years apart, but that's what I could afford. But I've learned that I need to do that because who knows? I mean, things happen and I want to live my life. I want to see new things and I want to
Best life.
go somewhere else. Enjoy life. Yeah.
Definitely. Living your best life. Um,
Yes.
Biggie Small quoted once, live every day as if it is your last.
Yes. I
Enjoy
actually
yourself.
I actually have a quote at my job because on our system, we can put a little picture and then you can put a quote.
Mhm.
And the picture is me on vacation with beautiful blue water behind me. And I have like a huge smile on my face and sunglasses. And I'm like, ah. And then underneath it, it says, live your life like it's the only one you have.
Yeah,
And I look at that every day.
Definitely. That's so good, man. Live every day like it's your
Live your
last.
life like it's the only one you have.
Definitely. Definitely. What new passion or project or goal have you engaged for you since becoming cancer free?
Since I became cancer free, I have reached out and advocated for holistic healing a lot more. Um, I got a tattoo on my arm and I got it below the sleeve. And
It
when
sounds like it
I'm
says
out,
something nasty.
yeah, yeah, and it has the cancer word on it. I can cover this part, but it says
Yeah,
cancer right there.
yeah.
Yeah, then it has a nasty word with the cancer ribbon. So I got that tattoo and I told him to put it below my sleeve. So when I wear a blouse, everyone can see it. And if I'm at the nail salon, the grocery store, when I was on vacation, people come up to me and they say, I feel the same way. Or cancer took my mom, or cancer took my brother in law. And I just have a whole conversation with them. And I tell them, I know I survived, but I'm so sorry for your loss. And I hate cancer. And it's horrible. And then I tell them about soursop tea. And if they're interested, I give them my YouTube and tell them just go through my story if you want to. If you don't want to, it's fine. And I just plant the seed that there are things you can do out there to raise your antioxidants, to keep all these bad chemicals out of your body. And I advocate more. I did that on purpose.
I have some merchandise that I'm working on as well regarding to cancer.
Ooh.
But these merchandise obviously because you know my story, it's mainly to support people with cancer. And those merchandise,
Yeah.
my intention when I finish those projects, my intention is to sell them and like 50% of the profit will go towards somebody
Oh,
that's
that's nice.
going through their chemo and because finance is really difficult when it comes to cancer.
Yeah.
Interviewed
Yes.
someone recently. She's in Germany right now, and she's spending over 30 grand on her treatment.
Yeah. Hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's really important, to know that, to save as you mentioned. You know what I mean? Because when you're going through so, cancer treatment, it's not financially, it's not mentally easy, and it's not financially easy. You know
No,
what I mean? So
no.
that's what those merchandise will be going towards. You know what I mean? So yeah. Um, if you had to choose one thing you're most proud of accomplishing in your journey so far, what would that be?
It would be staying positive because I know that if I would have fell into a deep depression, I may not have made it out.
So stay positive. You're a positive person. From the very first time I spoke with you, I realized that. Very positive.
Yes.
Um, but I was going to ask you, how do you stay motivated? Apart from positive,
That's
it leads
that's
up to the
easy.
same thing. What would be that? What keeps you motivated? How do you stay motivated?
My children, because my kids were all in their early 20s and I had not become a grandma yet. And I just wanted that so bad. And I kept telling everybody, I'm going to live because I'm going to hold my grandchild and I'm going to teach my grandbaby everything I taught my kids. And the world is changing and I don't like the way the world is changing sometimes. And I just want to be a big influence in
Yeah,
my grandbaby's life, to
definitely.
teach them positivity, to teach them it's okay if you hear the word no, to teach them to be self motivated, to be confident, to not everybody is like me, but in the back of my own children's minds, my older son, he'll say, sometimes I feel depressed, sometimes I feel sad. And then I'm like, my mom would be like, I didn't raise you like this. And then he's like, he gets himself out of it because he hears my voice in his head. And he lives in another state, so I don't get to see him. And it makes me proud. And I said, I don't say those things to you to get after you. I say them to motivate you, to make you a stronger person emotionally, because I need you to get through things when I can't help you.
So, what does striving looks like for you today, emotionally, physically, and spiritually?
So emotionally, I strive not to be sad, which I don't have anything to be sad about. I feel like because I survived cancer. And a lot of people will tell that to me over and over. So I'm like, okay, I adopted it. That's my whole, I guess, label. I survived it. I have nothing to be sad about. Physically, I try to take care of my body by going to the gym, but I mean, food is delicious and it feels good to lay down when you get home and do nothing.
Yeah.
So it's hard. That is my thing that I need to really focus on, getting into the gym, even if it's just walking or even walking. I need to adopt walking for 30, 40 minutes a day. And then physically, emotionally, and what was the other one?
Spiritually.
Oh, spiritually. I have started to meditate more. Um, I mm, I am very grateful,
Yeah,
and I am very thankful for how far I've come and what I have yet to do. So being humble and grateful is a big part of who I am right now because I'm not materialistic. I just want I just want simple things. And I feel being grateful for coming and getting this far is always, um how do I say this? Being grateful for how far I've gotten is going to humble me and make all the simple things worth it. Like I don't know how to say it. I just am not into, like, I don't need to be in first class and go to the best place in the world. I just need to be with the right people. I don't know if that makes sense.
yeah,
Just being grateful for being alive and sharing laughs and being with family.
definitely. Um, are there any habits or pattern you have intentionally left behind from your treatment days?
Habits. I don't remember having any habits during treatment. I know it did cross my mind a lot during treatment. Am I going to survive this? Can I make it? I think 3 times during treatment, I did break down and I did cry and cry and cry. But I realized that that doesn't do anything but make my nose stuffy and give me a headache, and no one magically appears in my room to hold me. So um, I just like let go of feeling sorry for myself and just focus on what can I do to change how I feel, what I'm going through, or what I want to accomplish.
Right.
And focus. I think focusing more on not being negative or even thinking about being negative. Because I was very positive during chemotherapy, but there were like 3 times where I just broke down and I was like, I mean, I cried so much that my chest was hurting and I stopped because I was like, am I having a heart attack? But now I can't see myself ever getting to that place again. No.
Okay. How do you want to use your experience now to support others, raising awareness, or shape your future?
By just sharing my story. I have short stories, I have long videos on YouTube. I'm very upset that I don't have my TikTok, and I'm contemplating doing that again. But I feel like I reach a bigger audience. And I did take the time and answer every single comment, every single DM that I had. And that was time consuming, but the reward was the response. Thank you for responding. I appreciate it. I'm praying for you too. My mother appreciates you telling us everything and this and that. The reward is the response for me. So I just tend to continue to be a walking advocate for what you can do, even something simple. I made a video a couple weeks ago on TikTok and I put it on my Facebook. And the video is how you can help someone who's going through chemotherapy and they don't want help. You can DoorDash them food. You can go over and give them some fruit or some teas. You can go clean their house. You can go to their house and make them
And that
some soup.
small act is really, really important. It goes a far way.
Yes.
You don't,
Yes.
even though they said that they do not want to, it's important.
Yes.
In one sentence, Michelle, what does freedom feel like now that you are on the other side of cancer?
Freedom feels like unlimited happiness.
Wow, wow, that's so good. That's so good. Um, Unlimited happiness. That's so good. Um, your YouTube channel, if someone want to support you, if somebody want to see your journey, if somebody want to communicate with you, how could they connect?
They can just comment on my page and I will respond.
What are your pages?
So my YouTube is Breast Cancer Warrior 001.
Michelle, as you're aware of we have our opening and a closing tradition where the guests leave an encouraging word for the next guest that's coming up. Um, so the last guest I've interviewed, her name is Florentina,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, I just want to tell you, don't stop dreaming, even if things move slowly, even if doors don't open right away, keep going. Sometimes life will test your patience and your faith. You will wonder if it's worth it, if you're good enough, if your world really need your if the world really need your voice, but it does. Every dream you carry inside you was planted there for a reason. Don't let fear or fatigue make you forget that. Keep believing, keep learning, and take one small step every day. Even the quiet ones count. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to stay true. And remember, the most beautiful things in life take times to grow. So hold on to your vision and let your heart lead you all the way.
Oh my goodness.
That's
That was beautiful.
Michelle, I
Mhm.
thank you again for sharing your story with us. As usual, it's wonderful to talk to you. And you just keep doing what you're doing, keep spreading your positivity, spreading your videos, and I hope it will benefit others.
Yes. That's exactly why I do it, because I know someone out there doesn't have this information and they want to see someone else's journey. And I didn't find too many videos like the ones I posted out there. So I continue to do it.
So, to my regular viewers and listeners, thank you for joining the Ivy Cancer podcast. Until next time, stay safe, stay blessed, and eat healthy.